For USCFootball.com, I'm Keely Eure here with Dan Weber. Instant analysis of practice number 12 of fall camp, USC's second scrimmage. It wasn't a great day for the offense today.
But a great day for the defense.
Yep.
And I think if you really, don't let people score on you, you probably got a chance in most games. So, it's one of those glass half full, half empty. And I think, USC has for a good while kind of measured itself by its offense. I mean, that wasn't the case when Pete Carroll came in, but they ended up with so many offensive stars and Heisman Trophy winners and what have you that you started looking at USC from an offensive standpoint. But this team, I think, has been saying this is going to be a defensive-driven team. They're going to make up, for some of the things that happened last year, and they went out there and proved it today. They were just first-team defense against first-team offense was no contest. The first-team defense just pretty much did not let the first-team offense play.
Yeah, USC's first team had 8 drives. Only one of them was a touchdown by Ronald Jones, and that was in the red zone portion of practice.
Yeah, they started there. So the other, and one interception, although maybe the play of the summer, fall, whatever you want to call it, by Jenny Harris, where Sam threw it up for grabs with Deontay Burnett and Ajene kind of in a deep corner, and I mean just a remarkable, miraculous kind of a one-hand, right-handed swipe by Ajene in a return. That defense they were really ready to play, and they played, and the offense is probably a good thing. The offense, I think, realizes now, just because you've got Sam Darnold, just because you've got Ronald Jones, just because whatever. Nobody's going to give you anything, especially this defense. And I think what they learned was, for example, Tyler Vaughns went to the second team today, gave Stephen Mitchell some, first team chances. All Tyler did was score 3 touchdowns, included the big, we're guessing about 75-yard, touchdown and 2 diving catches in the red zone. And he probably has to be on the field, and Clay afterwards said if they were playing this week, he would be. And they need Daniel Monterbaby. I think they need a tight end who really will stretch the field, open it up with the kind of experience he's got, and then we'll see what happens with the offensive line. They did not get the better of it against this defensive front 7 today.
Mm-hmm. Helton said it's good to have a scrimmage like this because it shows the reality. It shows where they are. I think one of the things that stood out was the chemistry with the receivers and Darnold was a little off. There were some miscommunications today. Seems like something they need to kind of work on besides, the guys like Deontay Burnett and Tyler Vaughns.
Yeah, they got pushed off their routes. For example, could have changed the day. Stephen Mitchell gets behind the secondary, but he probably doesn't have that top gear that he used to have and didn't quite get there, for what could have been that kind of Tyler Vaughn's, long TD. Ronald Jones maybe one kind of, mid-run, but he had almost no room to go. Stephen Carr, going against the second and third groups, had a lot more, room to run and catch the ball. But that first offense there was just nothing for him. They didn't let him do. Uchenna, Nwosu and Porter Gustin were just, what was the word? Phenomenal?
Yeah, Helton called them phenomenal today.
On the edge, and they were. I mean, there was no shot that you were going to be able to run the ball on the edge. Stephen Carr, his one really nice touchdown run inside out off right tackle where he's got that seam and all of a sudden he puts it in gear and he's gone. Mm-hmm. He does that once a day. Mm-hmm. But again, he was doing it against the second group. He didn't do that against the first group. But he keeps doing things that make you say, whoa, as does Tyler Vaughns. Deontay Burnett, I think he's playing on a couple of bad, bruised, I guess you would say, ankles. And he did not have a day where it looked like he was the real Deontay Burnett. But give the defense all the credit for today.
Mm-hmm. We saw more from the place kickers today. They were 3 for 9 today. Helton admitted it was not a good day for them.
It was not. And if you want to be a wise guy, somebody said, well, they were 3 for 9. The first offense was just 1 for 8. So you could say, statistically, They did not have a worse day than the first offense. But, I mean, the ball is just going, and, we're talking about 28-yard field goals.
Yeah.
We're not talking about, 48-yard field goals. Yeah, so, it just, and when you miss, like, I think they one time missed 3 straight, and the place just gets really quiet because everybody's kind of like, because they'll move them around or they'll put them in the middle, and they're not going real deep, and everybody just kind of takes a deep breath and says, what's going to happen now? So I don't think we know what's going to happen now. Well, I think the one thing we do know, Clay said, we may be a tad more aggressive when when they get the ball at the 40-yard line, the 30-yard line. They may be, you talk about the 4-down zone. That 4th down is not going to probably be a field goal. That 4th down will be throw the ball, Sam.
Mm-hmm. Any other takeaways from today's scrimmage for you?
I thought the defense tackled really well. I thought they didn't miss any tackles. I thought they were physical. I thought they gang tackled. I thought they tackled surely. A lot of the things that you really want to see this defense do, they did. The secondary did not play with their hands on people, and they didn't get called for any penalties, that kind of thing. They were physical without being without taking any chances. So I thought. The takeaways we were kidding about, they bring an ice cream truck afterwards, and I said, I wonder if the offense is going to get any or ice cream. Will the defense let them have any? And you look down there, and there were way more defensive guys at the ice cream truck than there were offensive guys. Yep. More of the offensive guys kind of just moved on out. Although, as you said, Porter Gustin also, who does not eat ice cream, he also took an early leave and said he doesn't need any ice cream.
Mm-hmm. Heading into the latter portion of fall camp, how big was this day for some guys who are still fighting for positions?
I don't think we know, because a lot of that was on the offensive line. As Clay said, you do really have to see the film to see what you're looking at there. I think it was big. It was really big for Tyler Vaughns. I think he's established himself. You cannot not have him on the field. I think there's no question about that. Otherwise, position-wise, I would say this. Anybody on that first team defense is pretty safe right now. I mean, I thought that was a group effort, a tough effort. Imon Marshall just had a really, really good day. Jenny just keeps having these really, really good days. They are taking this kind of as a personal challenge, the first defense. And so I wouldn't think you're going to see any kind of, movement there. I mean, Uchenna and Porter, as good as Connor Murphy is playing, Uchenna and Porter are just awfully good, and there was just nothing to run inside. So, you really can't tell what exactly is happening inside, but Rasheem and Marlon and those guys, they certainly weren't getting knocked off the line of scrimmage, and it did look like they were playing on the offensive side of the line of scrimmage, which is what Clancy wants. But the takeaway is just this defense could be pretty good.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's going to wrap it up for day 12 of fall camp. For Dan Weber, I'm Keely Eure. For more, check out uscfootball.com.